Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with any of the people on this show, so everything that I state is simply an opinion. My channel is a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark. This episode is going to recap Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 12, Can't See the Forest. The episode opens to a very enthusiastic Christine, who is having a 50th themed birthday party to celebrate turning 50. She says she doesn't feel old, she feels fantastic. She also loves being single, and she's dating a little bit, just having fun. We cut to Janelle, who says she thinks Christine has been looking for a companion in her life. She didn't really have that in her life with Cody. After getting dressed for the party, Mykelti, Tony, and Christine tell the camera crew Mykelti is expecting fraternal twins. Christine says Mykelti is going to announce the news to Janelle and Christine's mom during her party. Tony says, I don't think 4 arms are going to be enough. Christine says, I'm here though. I live 20 minutes away. Mykelti says Robin and Cody know we're expecting twins. We actually told them first because I needed help. Mykelti says she had severe morning sickness, but her mom, Christine, didn't. But Robin did. So she would call her and ask her for help. Now we cut to Robin in her talking head, and Robin says, I guess we were the first people that she told. And of course, I feel honored. Christine isn't the type of person to hold it against Mykelti for telling Robin before her, but I can't imagine there wasn't a little pang when she found out. Who was told first feels like unnecessary information to share, but maybe the producer is asking Mykelti that, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here. The point is, people know, and a list of who knows and when they found out just ends up creating some sort of order of implied importance. Just tell the people you want to tell. I think this sort of thing makes Robin feel like Mykelti is on her side. And at the end of the day, who finds out when, it just seems like another possible point of contention. If I was Mykelti and I was in that situation, I would say, everybody found out about the same time. And I would leave it at that. And nobody knows that that's not true. Unless Mykelti, when she told Robin and Cody, said, don't tell anybody, as if they're talking to the other family members. Hey guys, I want to take a second to ask you to please like this video. It makes a huge difference in terms of the algorithm showing this video to other people who may also enjoy it. I would love to keep this channel growing, so please take a second to do that. If you have not yet subscribed, please come and join us. We are currently at 12,263 subscribers.
Wow, it's huge!
Thanks, Cody, and thanks to everybody who's already subscribed. And now, back to the recap. Christine says Mykelti has an awesome relationship with Cody and Robin, and it's going to be like that for the rest of their life. It doesn't matter how I feel personally towards Robin or towards Cody. That has no place here, and that has nothing to do with me. This is Mykelti's story, Mykelti's life. I couldn't agree more with Christine. It's really smart to step back and stay out of their relationship. Over time, I do think Mykelti is going to come to a new understanding of who Robin is. So in her most recent reactions on Patreon, she appeared shocked by what Robin has said. She said something to the effect of, wow, who she is on the show is totally different than who she is in real life. Of course, one argument could be, well, it's just editing, and they're editing her in a certain light to generate views and dislike toward her. And that definitely could be happening. What I think might be happening, though, is that Mykelti is kind of coming out of the fog. A very important part of seeing someone for who they are has already happened to Mykelti, because she's already saying, like, wait a second, there seems like there's 2 different versions of Robin. And once you notice that, you start to pay attention to little manipulations or inconsistencies in stories. And once Mykelti begins to focus on those things, I think she'll start to see various examples of manipulation in Robin. And it's very slow, but it'll happen over time. One thing that you have to keep in mind is, why is Mykelti so loyal to Robin? It's because she felt like Robin stuck up for her when no one else was doing it. So I just want to remind people of that part of her loyalty and why that's there, because I think it helps to really explain Mykelti fully, rather than she's just a brat or she's just trying to cash in. And those things can be true as well. She also could be a brat. She also could be trying to cash in. Honestly, if my parents were on the show and I wasn't paid as a kid to be on it, and I decided I wanted to be on the show, I would hope that I would be able to make money in the same way. I mean, like when people have businesses, families have businesses, you go in and you work with your parents, right? In entertainment, it's seen as differently, right? I don't know. Anyway, I am on a tangent. I'm going to stop with my tangent and get back to the show. Christine goes outside and she greets everyone. They're all dressed up in a 50s style dress. There's a food truck and inside a soda bar. And now the episode veers off into this other direction that feels, when I'm recapping it, really incongruent with what's happening on the show. But I think the producers are really wanting to talk about how laws impact family dynamics. So they're bringing up, the whole point of this show, from what I understand, is to normalize polygamy and to decrease stigma around it. I think the reason why this feels so jarring is because they're asking Christine, what do you think the state of the family would be in if you had moved back to Utah when the state decriminalized polygamy? What? Have you not been paying attention to what's been going on? What the states do and what they decide and what is legal and not legal definitely has impact on family structures. But whoa, we're in this whole other realm right now. We're talking about like favoritism and narcissism and Cody, and that's not going to work in any structure. I don't know. I think they could have done this in a better way. I understand what they're trying to do and what the conversation they're trying to have. It just feels very clunky, I would say. Christine brings up polygamy being decriminalized in Utah a few years ago and wanting to return to Utah then. She wonders where they would all be if they had moved back to Utah. She thinks it probably would have just prolonged her leaving the family. Cody says where they lived wouldn't have made much of a difference on their family and them splitting up. Robin says she wonders a lot if they had handled things differently, how things would have turned out. For example, if they had never moved to Flagstaff, or if they've moved to Utah when Christine wanted to move, or, maybe if we had moved faster on building on the property, I wonder if we'd still be together. Janelle says, the writing was already on the wall. Cody had drove some big wedges into our family relationships. Cody's preference for Robin became even more pronounced during that time. I don't think anything would have been different. We'd have just been in Utah. Christine stands on her front steps and says, hey, everybody, thank you so much for coming to celebrate my birthday and celebrating my birthday party. We're going to go inside and we're going to eat. So grab whatever food you want. There's tables inside and we can all sit down and eat. And then McKelty says, Mom, I'm so happy. Happy birthday. And I just wanted to tell everybody that I am pregnant with twins. Janelle is very excited. She's surprised it happened so quickly, but she's also really excited about the news. McKelty says, Janelle cried a little bit. It was sweet. Tony says, yeah, and she never cries either, so it means more. Janelle tells them, okay, I need to have a house here now or something. Honestly, watching Janelle get emotional kind of made me emotional too. Am I the only one? Janelle is making me emotional. What the heck, Janelle? Some other little things I want to comment on in this scene is that they're both wearing the same green polka dot dress, and they both look really cute in it. We don't need to do a who wore it better. They both look great. The other fun thing that I saw was that during McKelty announcing her pregnancy with twins, truly was all of us. She's dressed as a little pink lady and she's like, I don't know what's happening behind me, but I am definitely going to get a hamburger and some French fries. And she looks so cute as a pink lady. I love her little getup. It's adorable. Mitch and Aspen say the party is going great and they think Christine is having a wonderful time. They go inside, eat, and visit. Janelle says the party feels like a big declaration of independence and a way for this new life that she's got. Okay, I'm going to play a little clip for you. And what I want you to pay attention to is the contrast in energy between Christine's party and what we cut to.
Happy birthday to you.
Cody and I and our kids were not invited to Christine's birthday party.
Robin has some real strong Debbie Downer vibes. Do you guys remember this character from SNL who basically, like in any environment, just said like the worst things that brought down the mood?
America's experiencing a virtual epidemic of juvenile diabetes.
It's really hard for my kids and I when we find out that the family is gathering and doing things. It stings when we find out.
That must be really hard to feel left out. I wonder if anybody else in your family maybe feels left out of family gatherings, and if there's anyone that maybe you've done this to. Christine says it would be great to have Robin's kids here because they should see their siblings, and Isabel would love it. But this isn't a place for a reunion like that anyway. It's just not. And let's not forget last episode. Christine talked about wanting to do a reunion. Mary was on board. Janelle was on board. Who wasn't on board? Robin and Cody. That's who. How could you forget? So I think Robin likes to point out that they weren't invited, but I doubt she would go even if they were. We cut back to the singing happy birthday, and she blows out her candles and says she can't tell us what she wished for, but it has something to do with being in a romantic relationship again. And the only benefit that I see from having the show this delayed is that we already know that Christine is very happily married. She seems over the moon. It seems like David is everything that she's wanted, and I am so happy for her. Janelle says this is the easiest party she's been to for a long time. There's no politics, no waiting on somebody to come because they're late. I wonder who she's talking about there. Spill it, Janelle. I'm going to guess Cody, and it was related to his hair taking longer than he thought it would. It's so easy, she says, to be here with just Christine and her kids. Christine says the party was a success, and they are a family. Janelle and Christine and our kids, we are a family, and we're just going to stick together, and it means a lot to Christine that they're there. We cut to Mary's B&B. She's going to renovate the carriage house. Mary's friend Blair is coming to show Jen and her plans for the renovation. Mary is going for an industrial steampunk look. Mary met Blair and his husband about 4 to 5 years ago online initially, and then eventually in person. Mary says, we've been talking cautiously because obviously people lie online. And then of course they show the footage of the infamous catfishing incident. So she says, you have to be very careful with people you meet online. I still have a hard time talking about all that. Mary says a lot of that story was blown up, but she knows her own truth. Even in my family, a lot of people have their own opinions about what happened, but I know my truth. Now Mary has a video call before she meets someone she's met online, so she knows that they're a legitimate person. That sounds like a good first step. Also, background check, maybe? I don't know. I don't do that. But I also don't meet people online. Mary and Blair go into the carriage house to discuss the layout. Mary tells us her clothing business is mostly online, but she also wants to have the option to bring people into the space and for them to be able to shop there. So having a dressing room is important. Mary's friend Jen arrives and apologizes for being late. We cut to Robin, who says she knows Jen from when they used to live in Las Vegas. Robin wishes she and Mary could be more light, like how Jen and she are. But the role that they have with one another is sort of consoling each other and helping each other out through the trauma that they've gone through. She says she's not jealous. She just wants more too. So not jealous, but greedy. Okay, I think sharing a partner is probably going to create a little bit of attention. But Mary has mentioned in the last episode that she did have that fun side of the relationship with Christine. So Mary, at least, is capable of that in this family, and so is Christine. Robin has no other relationship with her other sister wives. Also, one of the things that Mary has said over and over and over again is how Jen has been there for her and through many rough times. So it isn't like there isn't depth and consoling in Jen and Mary's relationship. There is. And on top of that, there's a whole heck of a lot of fun. So Robin seems just more and more Debbie Downer in every single episode. But Cody, all to yourself, will do that to you. Mary tells us Jen is completely invested in the redesign. Mary wants to share exciting things in her life with people who are as excited for her in those things. So I've just kind of kept this project close to me and only shared it with the people who really care. My kiddos know about it, but other than that, nobody else in the family knows about it. I think this is a very good policy. If you're trying to do something new or different, people kind of get freaked out. You remember how they responded to Mary when she was talking about this B&B? They were not supportive at all. And I'm so glad she ended up buying it anyway, even without their help. So yeah, I also do this. Don't tell people that are not there to cheer you on any of your business. They don't need to know you guys. We cut to Flagstaff and to Janelle's new apartment, which is, wow, a huge upgrade. I hope Janelle is finally like, I have been scrimping and saving this whole time, and dang it, I deserve to have a nice home for once. Janelle says Cody wants to come over and see the new apartment. She sighs and says, it's fine. Cody is continuing with his storyline that it's Janelle who is cruelly rejecting him. Who started it, though? He claims to feel pathetically, quote unquote, that she commonly rejects me.
Do you want to reconcile? Not really.
Wow, Cody's Janelle impression is spot on. She's always saying things like, not really, no thanks, okay. This is sarcasm. She never talks like that at all. But I like how he's making her sound like she's enthusiastically saying no instead of just being like, which we know she's just saying, Janelle says, if he was dying to get back with me, he would have called the counselor. He would be actively pursuing that. But there's no communication or conversation about it. Cody says, neither of us are that interested. I'm trying to be interested and I'm trying to talk about reconciliation. I can't tell if the reason I'm being shy is because she's saying she doesn't want to reconcile or if I'm just kind of happier about her not wanting to reconcile. It's the latter, you jerk. You're just worried Robin is going to lose respect for you. So you're trying to pretend like you're wanting to save your marriages without actually doing anything to save your marriages. Cody arrives at Janelle's new apartment. He hugs Savannah. Janelle says Cody has been making an effort with Savannah. He takes her out every couple of weeks for dinner. He's seeing her more frequently than he was at the beginning of the year. Cody walks in and he's like, wow, nice place. And look at this kitchen. It's nice. Janelle says this place has been nice because he's not ever been into this space. So it feels like it's my space. I sort of have it as my little sanctuary. Cody asks Savannah if she likes the apartment and he's trying to massage her shoulders and Savannah is just like walking away from him. It's hilarious. Cody says his relationship with Savannah is sweet. Forgetting to call your daughter on her birthday is the opposite of sweet, but continue with your lies, sir. Cody tells us he has not been in contact with Gabriel or Garrison for quite a while. He says he's pretty sad they aren't close anymore, but there are so many things in our lives that we did that were rich together, you know, just special experiences. And I think and hope that in time, we'll just get over this. And it'll be safe to be around one another. Right now, there's not really an open door. They are not willing to engage me. Sure, Cody, I think just waiting for a problem to improve without actually putting in any work toward making it improve is a smart life choice. It has worked for you and you and Jen. No. The old wait until it fixes itself doesn't seem to be working for you. Janelle tells Cody she's going to need him to help hang some art. Girl, go get yourself a stud finder for the heavy stuff, a hammer and some nails. You don't need Cody ruining your sanctuary for some art. I say that, but meanwhile, I literally have a stack of photos and pictures, all in frames, all ready to be hung up. I'm going to need to call Cody. Cody says, maybe this is a test. Hey, will you come over and hang pictures? Being married to 4 women, everything is a test. A test you have failed miserably, Cody. He continues, pick me, do something for me, do something for me. That's what plural marriage can feel like sometimes. Wait a second. Are you telling us your horrible, selfish wives used to expect, nay, ask you to do things for them? Do they know you're the one who's supposed to do nothing in this dynamic? Cody walks around the apartment. He says he likes it a lot more than the others. It's less cramped. Cody says, I think the reason Janelle got this place is because the last apartment was like our place and I was living there with her. Wait, what? Okay, this is a question I want on the freaking tell-all. Did Cody actually live at Janelle's apartment and how often did he actually come over? And I want specifics. How many days a week? From what time to what time? And how often did that happen? Was it weekly? Was it bi-weekly? I want specifics. Cody says, it doesn't look like I'll be living here with her. It's her apartment, not ours. I honestly don't know why she's showing me. Other than, our daughter lives there. Oh my God, good for you. You remembered. You have a child. Cut back to Mary's B&B. Blair has set up the display for the renovation. Mary walks in and looks at the display and says, "Wow, you went kind of crazy. Are you kidding me? This man is now on national television. This is a huge opportunity for his business. He's going to throw out every opportunity to be able to advertise for free nationally." So Blair talks Mary through the design. He is smart because he listens to Mary and her enjoyment of steampunk. And he put those elements in replaceable items. So if like in another 5 years, she doesn't like steampunk anymore, it's not going to be horribly expensive to update everything. So very smart interior designer. Mary likes the design, but isn't crazy about the white granite counter. She hates white, she says. Jen points to one of the light options. Why didn't you pick that?
What is the shape of that? Round.
Circle.
What shape is that? More
Not
square.
circle.
I don't like circles.
Don't circle.
This is like light and jokey, and I get that. And I get that this is maybe how they communicate to one another. But if my boss/bestie friend was talking to me like that, I think I would need to make a request that maybe there's a little bit less hostility, superiority, and aggressiveness when you're talking to me. I don't know. This reminds me of somebody that I've dealt with in my life. And so maybe that's why I'm having such a strong reaction, because I rewatched the clip and I was like, I think they're just playing around. But this interaction reminds me of how I was spoken to, and it wasn't joking around. It was one person telling me how things are going to be done. And so maybe I'm just being a little too in my feelings. Mary then goes on a tangent about circles. Apparently circles are dumb when you're trying to use up every bit of space. Circles are the dumbest shape. Except this is a light on the effing wall, not a piece of furniture. So, okay, again, you're totally in charge here. Why are you acting as if you have to argue with Jen? And then they play a clip from Mary during the building process on her home.
I see a boo-boo. I'm not having a sliding door, Cody. I have said that from the beginning.
Fine. See, what do you think? I mean, it would be...
It is a mistake.
Yes, you're right, it is.
Are these even?
I don't need more bedrooms.
All right, well,
But I might want a wet bar or a deck.
Okay, so if this is her when she's chilled out and she's become a better sister wife, can you imagine her in the early years when they were in that trailer and they were arguing over whether oranges should be refrigerated or not? We cut to Cody, who says, yes, Mary is a little bit of a control freak. Mary says the very cool thing about this project is it's all mine. I don't have to worry about what Cody thinks or likes. This project gets to be my project. Blair tells Mary, you're not going to get to see anything before the final reveal. Once all of the hard stuff is done, I'm going to come in and put in all the finishing touches, and you're not going to be able to come out until we do the final reveal. Mary admits that she's always been aware that she's a control freak. I just want to be in charge, and I want it my way. But what I have been understanding is that comes from a place of self-protection. Like, I need to take care of me because nobody else is going to. And I know that's something that I kind of need to let go of a little bit. Okay, so what Mary is saying is, if I'm in charge, I feel safe. It's interesting. Okay, so this is more my intuition than anything. But what I think is happening is actually Mary has a lot of perfectionism. So in her head, she's not lovable if things aren't done a certain way. And she has a belief that her way is a better way. And she understands things more. Maybe she's a little bit better at organizing. And so things should be done her way. And then she feels comfortable because it's done exactly how she wants. And it doesn't really matter that other people are uncomfortable. And I think the perfectionism gets taught in childhood, sometimes indirectly, by maybe having a lot of children and a lot of wives. And the only way you get attention is if you clean your room really well, or you get straight A's, or what have you. And so that can drive people to be high achievers because they get adoration when they do. Another way is to have another perfectionistic person around you raising you, who is going to tell you messages that there is a right way and there is a wrong way. Essentially, the message that gets pushed is that you're not lovable if you can't do things to a very high degree. So your love is something that you have to earn. It's not something that's just given to you because you're another human being and you're breathing and you're in the house. It's something that you have to earn. And that's what I see with Mary. We cut back to Janelle's house. Cody says he has no idea why Janelle switched apartments. Didn't he just say earlier that it was because he thought it was because that was their place and he spent all this time there? Oh my gosh. The show, I tell you. Janelle says the casita she wants to build on Coyote Pass is 1,200 square feet. The house that she's living in right now, the apartment, is 1,500 square feet. Cody wants to build the main house first and then the casita later. Janelle says Cody isn't putting up any of the money for the house. So I don't understand why he keeps bringing up we when it's just me doing the financing. It's a throwback to when we used to believe everything that belonged to us belonged to the family. But that doesn't apply anymore. Cody says building a 1,200 square foot house on a 2-acre plot of land, what's the point? Less expensive housing, I think is the point. Cody says it doesn't work for him, but it's not even up to me anymore. It's funny how he wants her to build a larger place while not helping her financially at all. I'm sure Janelle would take the financial support if it was offered. And who knows, she may even build the larger house if you were to help pay for it. Janelle says, I don't know. We still have to pay off the land this year. Cody looks off in the distance. Yeah. He gets real disinterested when it's about finances, doesn't he? Janelle is literally left scratching her head, wondering, how did I marry this moron? Janelle says she's still thinking of building on the property because right now it's pretty much my estate. It's all she has to show for all of these years. Janelle doesn't know if Cody's ever going to get his poop in a group. That is the worst saying I think I've ever heard. And build out there. Maybe they'll build, maybe they won't, but I can build a really high fence and we can put those between the properties. I wouldn't even have to interact with them. And now we're all Janelle, scratching our heads. So it's really hard to shift plans once you've fallen in love with this idea. And I think Janelle has a little bit of sunken cost fallacy happening. Living out the remainder of your life next door to your ex and his wife that you don't get along with sounds awful to me. If I was in this situation, I would do my best to sell the property and start a new life without any entanglements with my ex and his wife. Janelle says she's going to go through storage and she's going to get rid of stuff that doesn't fit into her apartment. She tells Cody she's not going to get anything bigger. And in her confessional, Janelle says, at this point, she doesn't see Cody in the equation. Janelle says she and Cody have already talked about everything superficial and they've run out of things to talk about. And it's super awkward. Cody brings up the countertops being 2 colors and wonders out loud why that is. Janelle says repeatedly, yeah, I don't know. Cody says he has no idea what to say. He thinks it's awkward because he doesn't even think he's welcome in Janelle's new apartment. Savannah says she likes the deeper sink that they have now. And Janelle laughs and she's like, everyone's trying to fill space here, even Savannah. Cody says, why am I talking about a deep sink? Who cares? Because I'm never doing dishes in there. It's like I'm living a double life. This wasn't how polygamy was for the most of the time, but now I have this whole life outside of Savannah and Janelle. But whenever I'm with them, I don't talk about any of my other life. And it's because that consumes most of my time and most of my life. I just don't have anything else to talk about. I guess it never occurred to Cody to ask someone else about their life. How surprising. Janelle says Cody coming to her new apartment went better than she expected. She was worried it would be a big fight again. There were no fireworks or crosswords. We were all friendly. It went well, better than I'd hoped for. Cody says he asked Janelle to reconcile, and supposedly, according to Cody, Janelle said she didn't want to because of Robin and Mary. Cody says that's sad, because that's the deal we made about plural marriage. You also made another deal about plural marriage, and that was that you were going to have 4 wives and not 1, and you were going to pay attention to all of them equally and have a good system in place. So a few contracts were broken along the way, correct? Janelle says, if Cody and I aren't together, I don't know why I would nurture a relationship with Robin and Mary there isn't a lot in common. It feels like something he's trying to use to explain away his behavior. Why would I want to get back together with you when you're a bad sister wife? I have to protect Robin against you, you bad sister wife. The reality is he's never come and said, hey, I love you, I miss you. It's always about, hey, don't you want to get the family back together? And that's just so his life can run smoothly again. I am done with that. I really am. Cody says it's sad, but it's unwound. I can't get the puzzle pieces back together. But I'm going to ask her again next week if we can reconcile. And it's painful every time. Maybe I should get more serious about it. But every time, it's like, nope. We cut to Mary, who says she's been thinking and processing for the last few months after Cody said he doesn't want to get back together with her. She doesn't know what she's going to do. You were broken up with on your anniversary. Oh my gosh, this is painful to watch. What to do should be real clear. Mary has to have 2 of the 3 pine trees removed from the front of her B&B, and she has no idea how long those trees were there, but she hates the idea of tearing down trees that would have been there when her grandmother was a kid. Mary recounts her conversation with Cody and him telling her on her anniversary that he doesn't want to go back to their relationship. Mary says, that's fine. I don't want to either. Let's move forward. You and I are different people. Let's get curious about one another and get to know one another and figure things out. He said, I don't want to. Your life is not one that I want to insert myself into. I was like, okay then. Man, Mary is really making breaking up with her very hard. Cody isn't the most sensitive person, but in this case, I think he finally said some pretty harsh things as a way of forcing Mary to accept the end of this relationship. We cut back to Mary in front of her B&B as the trees are being removed. Mary says, it's been a few months since that conversation, and they haven't had any sort of marriage for about 8 years. It's disappointing, she says, because I know the person he was when we first got married. I know the couple that we were. We cut to Christine, who says, I was 18 when I met Mary and Cody, and they were so cute, and everyone wanted to be around them. They were the it couple. He was so charming and sweet with her. And that's why I became interested in Cody, because of how well he treated Mary. I was like, sign me up for that. Janelle says, when you come into a relationship as a plural wife, you are looking to see how the relationships before you are faring, because you're not going to come into a family if a man can't manage his relationships already. Why would you sign up for that? It's like all kinds of danger signs. When I met Cody and Mary, they were attached, connected. They were always together, a couple for sure. I want to play you a clip that they replayed several times because it makes me laugh every time I see it. And I don't know if you guys have caught this, but so watch Cody feed Mary the cake and he shoves it in and then she bites him because she's choking on cake in the back of her throat and trying to like stand up. And then he's like, ow. And it's just so comical. So enjoy a moment of laughter.
All kinds of danger signs. When I entered the family, Cody and Mary, they were in love. They were attached. They were
This makes me so happy. We don't have images of him feeding Christine cake. I don't think we have images of him feeding Janelle, but we do have images of him doing this to Robin. The same exact thing. Clearly, this guy learns nothing. And I would go find the clip for you, but I'm just too lazy. And it's on another hard drive. And Robin doesn't bite him. I would go find it if she actually bit him. She does give him a very glaring look, though. And like kind of like a warning sign like, you're not going to pull this crap with me. And boy, did that stand the test of time. Now I have to go find the clip. Damn it. Wouldn't you think you would treat the wife that bit your finger with more kid gloves? But this just encapsulates how Robin knows how to handle Cody. She gives him a look and he backs off. We cut back to the trees in front of Mary's house being cut down. Mary says she's proud of herself, proud of who she's become. It's sad to her that Cody couldn't see value in her and value in the 3 decades they'd spent together. They cut to the limbs being fed into a wood chipper. Mary continues, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to stick around and keep living life in this family like I have been doing for quite a few years. Not a wife, just a member of the family, right? I could do that. Or I could completely terminate it. He's made it clear there's no hope. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Screw him. He's not worth it. It's scary. It's not what I wanted. I didn't want him to tell me he doesn't want to be with me, and I didn't want the trees to come down. And yet, here we are. So now that the trees are down, it's not as bad as I expected it to be. It's not weird. It's not what I feared. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I freaking love this lesson. It's such a great reminder to allow things to unfold, accept them as they come. Mary did everything in her power to control the outcome for what she thought she wanted, a marriage with Cody. When he destroyed the hope, she's then forced to deal with reality. And Mary finds out that the reality isn't as scary as she thought it would be. And it might actually be an improvement in her life. Life is chaotic and uncertain, but often resisting what is happening is just going to cause you more pain. Mary is finally seeing, just as with the trees coming down, it isn't as bad as she feared, and maybe her marriage ending is the same. Something that comes with pain and loss, sure, but she's realizing that there's always going to be another side. There is always the promise of a new life, a new chapter, a new era. And with that, please let Mary leave him in the next episode. That's it for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't given a like, please take a second to do so. If you haven't subscribed, please also take a second to do that. You have made it to the special question section of this video. So my question to you is, who wanted the oranges in the fridge? Your options are 1, Mary, 2, Janelle, 3, Cody. Ooh, who likes their oranges cold? And who says, that's just not right? Comment down below. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful week. Until next time.